Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I am barefaced right now because we are going to be doing a little get ready with me, and I wanted to focus this get ready with me on makeup products for beginners. So if you're just kind of dipping your toes into the world of makeup and you're like, where do I start? What do I do if you don't have that much experience using beauty products? First of all, I was you like literally just 2 years ago, and YouTube has taught me so much about beauty. Probably YouTube has taught me more about beauty than anyone else or any other thing has. So I've definitely learned a lot, and I want to kind of pass the wisdom along now that I've figured out what works best for me and what is easiest to use when you're first starting out. So that's really what this video is going to be about. I'll take you through the entire process of getting ready with me using products that I think are super user-friendly for beginners. Also, I have a super easy hair tutorial for how to get like this exact hair situation, so I'll link it on the screen in case you want to go watch that after you watch this video. I do get a lot of questions about my hair, so the fact that I filmed that tutorial is very helpful because whenever someone asks how did I do it, I can just have them watch the video. So anyway, let's get right into this video. All right, I've zoomed you guys in a little bit closer so you can really see what I'm getting up to here. And the first thing that I would recommend doing before you even put any products on your face is to moisturize your skin. One moisturizer that I've been loving a lot lately is actually this Exfoliate Glow Moisturizer from Kate Somerville. So this is what it looks like. It's a super lightweight moisturizer, so it's really great for wearing underneath your makeup. As you can see, it's very like gooey and it just blends super nicely into the skin, and it really does give a glow. It also smells a little bit vitamin C-ish, and there's also actually pumpkin in this one, which I think is very interesting. I think sometimes people only think to apply moisturizer at night, which you should definitely do too, but I like to do something lightweight underneath my makeup just to keep my skin hydrated and looking its best, so that the product isn't just sitting on top of dry skin, so that it's a little bit more nourished and therefore looks a little more natural throughout the day, which I'm assuming also if you're just starting out with makeup, you're going for kind of a natural everyday look, which is the look that I'm going to be doing today. With that being said, the next thing that I would recommend is rather than jump into a full coverage foundation, you start out with a tinted moisturizer, a BB cream, or something along those lines. So the product, of course, that I would recommend for this is Glossier's Skin Tint. Actually, this week, Glossier released 12 shades of the skin tint. I'm pretty sure there only used to be 5, so there are now 12 shades. I have the old shade medium, which according to their match of what shade did you used to be versus what shade would you be now, that's either a G9 or a G10 on the spectrum. I also just want to give Glossier a shout out for reversing the spectrum in terms of the numbers, because the darker shades are usually the higher numbers, and I love that the richest shade this time around is G1. I think that was very cool, and as usual, ahead of the curve marketing from Glossier. So anyway, this is their old medium shade. It would be equivalent to probably G9 or G10, and you can apply this a couple of different ways. If you're just starting out and you don't have any tools, you could actually just put a little bit of this on your hands and kind of rub it all over your face. I know that's how Alana Davison, who I love, Canadian YouTuber, if you don't follow her, I'll put her channel down below. It's a great time over there. I know that's how she likes to apply this product. I generally use my Real Techniques beauty sponge. This is also much more user-friendly in my opinion than any brush that you could use for foundation. Just because of the application, I find it a lot more even using this. For the sake of today's video, I'm just gonna try it with the hand method. So this is a super watery based product. It's not gonna be matte or full coverage at all. It's gonna move around a lot, so just keep that in mind as you're using it. But that's one of the things that makes it nice, is that you can always kind of go in and add a little bit more if you need to, or even it out in places where it might need to be evened out. I have a fuzz on my hand that like won't get off my hand. Just to show you exactly what I'm talking about here, like it's literally dripping out like a liquid. So that's how the consistency of this product is, but you can take a little bit on your hands, and then I'm just gonna start rubbing it into my skin. I think the skin tint and other tinted moisturizers are a great way to get into base products, because again, you don't want to go from like 0 to 60 just jumping in and doing a full coverage foundation or anything like that. This is a really nice product to just kind of even out your skin tone. It's not really focused on covering up anything, but rather just kind of enhancing the natural smoothness of your skin and kind of giving yourself just an even base to work with. So as I mentioned, using a lightweight base is great because again, it's not too cakey or complicated or anything like that, but if you do have some spots or anything you want to conceal, I know for me my under eyes are usually a concern, and also spots around my chin, you're going to probably want to use a concealer. So today I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty concealer in the shade 160. I also have a whole review video specifically on this concealer if you'd like to learn more about it. This is a very easy product to apply because it does have a wand applicator, so you can literally just pop the product onto your face. Oh, This is why I shouldn't do this while I'm talking. I always get the under eyes, down below my chin, and then any other kind of random spots that may have popped up. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Real Technique sponge to blend this out. I did wet it a little bit this time. I'm still learning things too here, you guys, and people have told me that I'm a crazy person for using a dry sponge, so I'm going to now use the slightly dampened sponge to go ahead and blend this concealer out. When you use the Beauty Blender, you don't want to like drag it across your skin. You really do just kind of want to bounce the product into your face. The next face products that I want to apply are blush slash bronzer and also highlighter. So I'm gonna skip kind of contouring because I don't really think that's a beginner situation at all. It took me a really long time to figure contouring out, especially with cream products. It can be very difficult. If you put them in the wrong place, it can be hard to kind of fix your mistake. So I want to stick to the powder bronzer for the moment. So this is actually a blush from Bare Minerals, but I kind of sometimes use it as a blush slash bronzer. This is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude in Let's Go Nude, and I'm going to be using a duo fiber brush. This one is from Sigma Beauty. It's the F50 brush, and what I like about this brush is it really helps diffuse the color nicely. So, and again, my recommendation for all of these products is to kind of pick up as little product as possible to start, and you can always build on it because it's always easier to add something than it is to kind of try to remove something or take it away once you've kind of put it on your face. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick up some of this product on here. And for blush, you kind of want to focus it more on the apples of your cheeks, and for contour, you want to focus it on the hollows of your cheeks. So for this one, I kind of think of it more as a blush situation. So I'm going to kind of use it to warm my cheeks and just kind of bring it along over here. And then my highlight will go on top of that on the high points of my face. As you guys can tell, just applying that little bit of product really did help to warm up my face. It kind of looks like I have a sun-kissed glow, and the trick there is to kind of put it on the spaces where the sun would hit on your face. So I brought it up a little bit over here, but I mostly kept it centered on this part of my face. And next up, we're gonna be talking about highlight. So for beginners, I would also recommend a cream highlight because I think it's much easier to work with. We're just gonna be sticking to one that you probably all know that I know and love, which is the Glossier Haloscope. Sorry guys, I had a sanitation truck and a UPS truck in front of my apartment at the same time, and they were both being really loud, so totally lost my train of thought. I'm pretty sure we were talking about highlighters, so I definitely recommend a cream highlighter for beginners. It's definitely more of a daytime highlighter than a powder highlighter. A lot of those can come off super, super shimmery and pigmented, and I feel like that's kind of a lot of look if you're just starting out. There are two different ways you can apply this. You can either actually put it directly onto your face on the high points, or you can put some product on your finger and tap it on. I actually think this product is very user-friendly whichever way you do it, because you really should just be able to do this, but some people don't like doing that because it can mess up their base products that they've already put in place. The good thing about the really lightweight products that we used is that there's less of a chance that you'll mess something up because there's already less product to mess up anyway. So otherwise you can apply it directly. Do you see that? And then definitely be sure to dab it in with your finger so that it doesn't look streaky. You can bring it up. Some people bring it right underneath their brow. Some people bring it above their brow. Do whatever floats your boat. And I also pop a little bit on the tip of my nose and above my Cupid's bow as well. So we've made it through face products, which are probably honestly the most intimidating part of doing your makeup as a beginner anyway. So now we can kind of relax a little, we've warmed up, and we can move on to the eyes, which is always fun. So first of all, before you apply eyeshadow, I find it really helpful to apply an eyeshadow primer. It just means that it'll stay a little bit longer and give it a really solid base that you can build upon. So this is the Urban Decay Primer Potion in the shade Original. It also has a wand, so all you have to do is pop a little bit of product onto your lid and dab it in using your ring finger, because that is the finger with the lightest touch. Since we're dealing with our eyes, we want to be super delicate. As far as eyeshadow palettes for beginners, I recommend starting off with a smaller palette. First of all, because it's just easier, makes your life easier, easy to travel with. There's not so many shades that it feels overwhelming or complicated. I wanted to share with you two eyeshadow palettes that I think are great for beginners. The first is this one from Tarte, Make Magic Happen. This might might be a limited edition, but the Tarte Tartelette palette is very similar to it. There are some matte shades and some shimmer shades, so you kind of have a bunch of stuff you can play around with. I think you guys can tell the 4 shades that I use the most because they are the most used shades in this palette. I definitely love this one, and I love the neutral colors, which I think are perfect for every day. And in a very similar vein, I wanted to show you the Winky Lux Coffee palette. These two palettes are actually very similar. This one was a Christmas gift from Kate Patton, so she clearly knows me very well, and I love this one too. This one's fun because it actually smells like coffee, so that's enjoyable. But yeah, as you can see, just to find, this one's a little more warm toned, this one's a little more cool toned. I just really enjoy both of these, and they're also super easy to travel with because, again, you kind of only need one really compact palette to bring along with you. So why don't we do the Winky Lux one today? I know I've used the Tarte one before, but I did just want to show that as an example too. So as far as eyeshadow brushes, there are really only 2 that I ever use, which makes it very easy if you're a beginner. There is a flat brush that I use to really dab in and apply product, which I use for base and also shimmer shades. And then there is a blending brush that you can use to blend shades that you use to transition or shades that you put in your crease. What I usually do is take a neutral shade and apply it all over my lid. Then I take a slightly darker shade, which will likely be, maybe I'll do this one today. I haven't done this one yet. Then I'll take a slightly darker shade and apply that in my crease as a transition shade. And then I will use the shimmer shade kind of in the middle just to add a little bit of impact. And then I usually use the lightest shade, the white shade, to kind of go right underneath my eyebrow and kind of blend that out using the blending brush as well. So Cappuccino is the first shade that I'm gonna use, and I'm gonna take that on my flat brush and apply it all over my eye. Next, I'm gonna take this shade Macchiato with my blending brush and apply it to my crease as a transition shade. Sometimes it's helpful to tap the product off of the brush if there's a little bit of fallout so that you prevent that when you put it on your eyes also. I'm gonna pick up my flat brush again and take a little bit of this shimmer shade called Light and Sweet and place it right on the center of my lid, kind of creating a halo effect, and I'll also pop a little in the corners of my eye so that they pop too. And lastly, I'm going to go in with the lightest shade, Affogato, and I'm going to pop that right underneath my brow bone, also to blend out the transition shade a little more. And don't be afraid to spend a long time on the blending stage, because honestly, I think that's the thing that makes the biggest difference in eyeshadow. I think the key for eyeshadow really is sticking to very neutral colors and also the less is more method, so you can always add on more later if you want to, but just to keep it very light and simple and pretty and easy as possible. So let's move on to brows. The thing that I would recommend for brows, because I know there's a lot of talk about like dip powder and pencil, and all of that can sound a little intimidating. The thing that I would definitely recommend for beginners is a tinted brow gel. I've recently been obsessed with this one from Thrive Cosmetics. This is the shade Audrey, and it has a wand here, kind of like a mascara wand, and all you have to do is trace it over your brows and it will tint them and also help kind of put them into place and shape them as you go too. And there you go. And even the same thing with brow product, if you're worried about putting too much on, you can actually wipe some off the wand before you go to put it on, and you could always add more later. Okay, 2 more products and then we're done. This wasn't so hard, was it? Let's move on to mascara. So again, for beginners, I would recommend trying to stay away from clumpy and very voluminous mascaras because I think they're very hard to work with and they might not give off like the everyday vibe that we're going for here. So Glossier Lash Lick is of course my choice for a simple everyday mascara. Here's a finished look at the eyes with mascara, brows, and shadow done. I really love this natural look. This is definitely my everyday go-to. Last but not least is lips. I like to keep my lips very simple. I love nude and pinky toned shades right now, so you know, something that's very similar to the natural color of my lips. And one thing that I love that I actually haven't tried in a while, but I realized this is the perfect thing for beginners, is a lip pencil. So Clinique makes some, I know CoverGirl makes some, and I have this one here from Hourglass to test out. So this is just one of the mini size products. I believe it came with another product that was purchased from Hourglass, and it is adorable because it has this kind of pointed tip, so it's really helpful instead of having to actually line your lips, because I know that can get very complicated. This still helps you apply this product with precision so that you're not getting it all over your face. And this shade is called Activist, so let's go ahead. And there you have it. I love this color on me. I can't believe I waited this long to try this product. So I'm glad I did. Again, the lip pencil is nice because you can always sharpen it to make it more precise if it kind of dulls over time. And I think that's way easier than applying a lip liner and a matte lipstick and all of that. So I'm very into this product. I'm glad I got to test it out. And this is my finished everyday makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it useful. I tried to provide little tips and tricks as I was using each product that I think makes it even more user-friendly if you're just starting out with your makeup. So if there's any unanswered questions that you have or anything specific you wanted to ask me about, please feel free to leave your question down in the comments. I always try to get back to everyone, and I love to be able to continue the conversation down there with you guys and hear more of your thoughts on my videos. If you're not already, please consider subscribing to my channel. That would mean so much to me. I can't believe that I'm seeing my YouTube family grow. I know it's a little bit every day, but honestly, it means so much and it makes such a big difference over time. And I'm just so proud of all the work that I've done here in the last year, and I'm so grateful for all the support. Subscribing is just a tiny way to let me know that you really like the content that I'm producing and you want to be kept up to date on when there are new videos out. Also, if you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up. That's another way to kind of show your support and tell me that you like the content that I'm making. And please let me know what other beauty videos you'd like to see from me in the coming weeks. Fashion Week is coming up too, so I'm sure there will be some content around that. When you're watching this, it's Friday, so that actually means I'm off to Philly this weekend. If you'd like to follow along and see what I'm up to, my Instagram handle is on the screen, and I will be visiting some friends from college, so I know I'm gonna be having a good time there. And I think that's just about everything. So thank you guys again so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day and a great weekend, and I will see you guys on Monday. Bye!